Hello, fabulous Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of July 2014 General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an important month it is set to be for you. Not only do you have a very active full moon taking place in the sign just before yours, which always sort of brings up things in terms of what it is that you already know but haven't wanted to admit. That certainly is going to be coming up for you in some very important ways. But what we also have happening right around the same time is your ancient ruling planet, Saturn, will stand still in the sky and go direct. And your modern ruling planet, Uranus, will stand still in the sky as well, right around the same time, and go retrograde, will begin to go backwards for the next few months. You put all this together and it does suggest an important turning point is made for you, and it just can't come quick enough. I do think that there's an element here of you understanding what needs to change, but haven't been ready to really implement it, haven't been ready to really take a balanced perspective, or haven't been ready to really acknowledge what it is that needs to change, even though it's been staring you in the face. But what's so important about this is the fact that because you have your ancient ruler going direct, planet Saturn, Saturn really is about what you actually do. It's about honoring the fact that we are incarnated for a reason, and that this Earth school has particular laws, particular rules. And so how are you going to work with that? How are you actually going to honor the physical environment and do something that matters to you? Well, when Saturn goes direct, you start to understand exactly what that is that you need to do to feel a measure of stability, a measure of self-respect, to feel yourself moving in a direction, to feel a shift in a direction that you like. But you add to this the fact that your ancient ruling planet is going to go retrograde. And I find this so rewarding, your modern ruling planet, Uranus, going retrograde. And the reason I say this is because when Uranus goes retrograde, what this represents is Uranus is ultimately a planet of revolution. It is a planet that says, I want change and I want it right now. And sometimes can act in ways that are erratic, depending on the kind of conversations Uranus is having with other power players in the sky. But when Uranus begins to go backwards, that energy turns inwards and says, okay, what is it within me that needs to change if I'm truly going to experience a shift in my outer reality, in my outer world? That is where the power is going to come. And that's where, if you can focus, that really is where the breakthroughs are going to lead to a very different experience of life as well. And this is going to be helped by the fact that the full moon in the middle of the month is happening in the sign just before yours, is speaking to the cardinal grand cross that I've been talking about in the weekly horoscopes. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go and watch the weekly horoscopes, especially in the month of April. I was discussing it a lot when this particular configuration was very active. But we do have this particular full moon speaking to this configuration, which suggests that there is an element here, and there is sort of an energy with us right now, sort of a generation-defining energy that has to do with understanding ultimately what it is that we desire to see and experience differently, and to actually begin that path, to actually do what it is that needs to be done to make those changes, to just start, really, and trust your instincts, trust your passions, trust where it is that the universe is providing you the impetus to go, even if you don't know what the next steps are going to look like. Just start it. Just do it. When a full moon happens in the sign just before yours, and it is this lit up by so many power players, it is really about what it is that's been under the surface in your subconscious, the knowledge, the wisdom that is there, the perspective that is there, that maybe you have not been looking at or have not wanted to look at. And it does come forward for you right now in some very important ways. Now, I do really like the fact that Saturn is going to go direct, which suggests that you've got sort of a balanced perspective to understand the big picture where it comes to the information coming forward. And so that from that place, you can make a decision. And I do think for some of you, this is going to be a change of circumstance that you're going to activate. For others of you, it's going to be a change of attitude and energy, of understanding that you need to bring a different energy if you are going to experience a different reality. And Uranus going retrograde is so important because it really keeps the focus on you. It keeps the change about you. It ensures that the revolution is taking place within, which will ultimately lead to a much more satisfying existence, but also a life and choices that are so much more true to yourself. The only thing I'm also going to advise you is that you just want to be really patient with yourself, because it's almost like the final layer or final level of you truly stepping into the change is likely to come in a more significant way a month down the road. And so I will be here to talk about it then for the August horoscopes. But I do want to say that in August, we have a full moon taking place in your sign, which is going to be so important and is also going to represent a change. But right now, the changes that are taking place are grounded, they're honest, they're intuitive, and they are instinctive. They are fueled from a sense of understanding what it is ultimately that needs to reverse, where it is ultimately that you need to break free from the past if you truly are going to step into something more inspired just a little bit further down the road. However, I got to say, again, ultimately, this is about things coming forward that you already know. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't say, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't know that. You know it, but it comes to awareness just when you're ready to. And as it does, then you will be ready to implement some really important changes that will lead you towards a future that you like very much. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.